walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You ought to make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
No, this game is not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3. And man, I tell you, it's been a minute, but it is training camp time, and I am here with our training camp edition of Talk Your Team Tuesday. So listen, get at me. If you are ready to talk your team, then get at me. I see Facebook is doing the doing the thing again. I almost said something, but oh God, I'm so tired of this social media bull crap. I can't even see straight. So sorry, coming on with that. We're being compressed right now. So I'm tempted to kick the Facebook piece of it off and just do YouTube. All right. Anyway, so before I get into it, man, U.S. women's national team barely advanced to the knockout round. I'm looking at the highlights. I didn't get up at 2:00 this morning, Houston time. But if it had not been for that goal post playing one hell of a goalie, the U.S. national team would have been in some serious trouble. 0-0 tie to Portugal, and now they're moving on to the knockout round. They're going to play Saturday against a team to be determined. But man, I got to tell you, they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. So we'll see. Hey, Keith Hennick, what's going on? Glad y'all made it in. Facebook was doing its thing, not letting us get on because of the intro of the show. So I almost flipped them the finger. I'm so sick and tired of Mark Zuckerberg. I'm so sick and tired of Elon Musk. I'm so sick and tired of all these other social media people, man. You can literally stream a murder and not get compressed. You play 5 bars of a thing that you got a ticker that says we don't own the rights to this, and all of a sudden they got to shut you down so that nobody's offended because you played their music. Good Lord, boy. So anyway, let me get back to it. Again, U.S. women's national team advanced to the knockout round in spite of being very uninspired. They got to figure it out, man. They got to figure it out. Got to get Megan Rapinoe back in. If she's the spark, put her back in there, man. I know she's older. She can't play a full 90 minutes, but put her back in there. Let her do something to get them sparked. But last night, man, or early this morning was not good. All right, so let's get to it. I was at the Texas training camp. They're in pads now. First day of pads was yesterday. Today was day 2. Yesterday morning, on his first throw, quarterback C.J. Stroud threw an interception. He is a whole rookie. First day in pads, first day with, on that drill and threw an interception. So what? So freaking what? Had a great rest of the practice. Looked much better today, in fact. Davis Mills, show you how the Houston mentality is. Davis Mills came out and threw a nice ball on his first throw and hit one of the wide receivers, underthrew him, but the wide receiver made the adjustment, made the catch. But the thing was, Davis Mills' feet are so slow that first-year player, rookie, Will Anderson Jr., was in the backfield. And if it had been a full contact drill, that ball never would have gotten released. He would have been sacked, and they would have been second and 15, 17, whatever the case would have been. But everybody was ooh and an ah on the Davis Mills throw, but people didn't pay attention to the fact that would not have been a throw had it been a live drill, a live game. So, there are some folks here. What's up, CJ? Yeah, man, let me tell you something. There's some folks here that want Davis Mills to be the starter. Let me tell you, the only reason why I would be okay with Davis Mills starting is to make sure that offensive line is good. I said this a couple weeks ago. Let's make sure that offensive line is good first. Don't need to kill C.J. Stroud behind a crazy offensive line. Look at what they almost did in Chicago to Justin Fields. Let that line get good. Put C.J. in there. Stick with him. Let him make his mistakes. And then watch what you'll have in a season or two, because it don't take him long. It don't take him long, for him to get going. So anyway, that's just a little glimpse of the training camp update. I'm gonna take my first break. Let me run down a roll call real quick. Big shout out to Ben Sutter III. We got a big show tonight for Queen 3 and King. It's their 100th episode. Good God. When I tell you I'm old. I think I'm going on this platform. I think I'm going on my 1,000th episode. But anyway, big deal tonight for Queen 3 and King. Be sure and tune in tonight, 7 o'clock on BS3 TV, on your local Roku network, and all other streaming platforms. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Twitter. Is it on Twitter? It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on all the streaming platforms. But tune in tonight, 7 o'clock Central. It's going to be a lot of fun. Me and Ben Sutter III are going to be hosting the show. I'm coming in fly. I'm not doing Bad Mickey. I got Bad Mickey on today. Yeah. Now this ain't your children's Mickey Mouse. This is Bad Mickey. So anyway, I'll be dressed to the T, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with Queen 3 and King podcast tonight. So y'all be sure and tune into it. All right, I'll be right back right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan can sense
the throw. Just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
When the man said that Sharifa Barksdale is on the verge, she's getting ready to set the world record. And I lost concentration and I followed off that hurdle. I was devastated.
One of our hopes for the Olympic Games, Sharifa Barksdale from Tennessee, a fine intermediate hurdler ranked 10th in the world at 400 meters.
Posición game ball de Canadá, dominando la prueba, y la estadounidense Sharifa Barksdale está en.
When I fell over that hurdle, it ended my career. And then all of a sudden, my coach grabs me by the throat. And I was going through some paperwork and seeing that he had spent 10 years in prison. And I was just like floored. It turned to domestic violence. I was terrified. So if I left, I don't know if I was going to die. My family didn't know if they was going to get a phone call to say that Sharifa was dead.
8910 radio, I just had a vehicle take a shot at me. Southbound on East 95th.
Broke the U.S. record in the 400-meter hurdles. Represented the United States of America.
Imagine being on the biggest, fastest roller coaster that you have ever been on. That's the way my life was for 20 years.
I never had no trouble out of her being what she wanted to be. Because if this is what she wanted to be a runner, well, God bless her, and he did.
My name is James Jr., and I won $500 on the lunch break for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
All right, back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Listen, y'all need to be working out. You know, need to be stretching. Y'all need to get your picks right because it's about to be the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses, Pick'em Challenge, and somebody's going to win another $500 cash. Is it going to be you? Erica Kenyatta, you going to finish it off this year? Donna Coleman-Holman, you getting in this year? You haven't been in that yet, have you? Keith Hennick, is it time for you to get back in the top 6, have a chance to win $500? CJ, what you doing? You with us or not? Ben Sutter III, you down? You down? You down? King Doc, CJ, Jameis Jeter, all of y'all, man. Who's going to win that money this September? So we'll see. Look, start looking at your teams and see what's going on. Okay, real quick. Baseball, before I get to the football, some more football around the training camps. Astros got a big win last night, 7-2 over Cleveland, the Guardians. But the trade deadline is coming up today at 5 o'clock Central. And the Astros need to make a pitching move like crazy. The Rangers have stocked up. Do you hear me? The Rangers have gotten the Boys in the Hood, NWA, NWO. Doc, they got all of them. They got the Wolf Pack. The Rangers have stocked up because they think that this is their season, but we'll see. We'll see. So the Astros are rumored to be interested in bringing Justin Verlander back. But Verlander has such a complicated contract with the Mets. It's not just dollar for dollar or player for player. He's got a whole lot of intricacies in his contract that might make a move by 5 o'clock today almost impossible. But the Astros have got to do something. They cannot keep running Brandon Bielak out there. You don't even know who he is. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. The dude's atrocious. They can't keep running him out there along with Framber Valdez, who is having a very down season. Luis Garcia, JP France, Hunter Brown, and Brandon Bielak. They gotta find somebody else in that starting rotation until they can get Jose Urquidy back, until they can get Christian Javier back. They gotta find some of these other guys to get the job done. So we'll be keeping an eye on the Astros today at 5 o'clock. But they're only a half game, even with this absolutely atrocious pitching. They're only a half game behind the first place Rangers. But I think the Rangers are about to hit the gas and mash off. That's just me. All right, so just giving you a little baseball update. All right, let's get to the other training camps. While I'm on it, let me stick with the AFC South. What the hell are the Indianapolis Colts doing? What are they doing? They have let their formerly drug-addicted owner get all fly with his mouth again. Erica, he's very reckless with his mouth. Jim Irsay is about to mess up one of the best things that he's had at running back since who? Edgerrin James, Eric Dickerson. I mean, this dude is about to blow it so bad that I literally believe that Jonathan Taylor might just sit the whole season out if he doesn't get traded. This dude is making dumb statements like, if I die and Jonathan Taylor doesn't get the deal of his life, the NFL will go on. Bro, what are you saying? The hell are you saying? I mean, serious, man. Let me just say this real quick. As I said about the social media owners, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon, a racist Musk, and the rest of them. Just because you are a billionaire, it does not make you brilliant. And I know some of y'all, they made $1 billion. They got to be smarter than the rest of them. That's you, bro. That's how you think. Me, in my mind, just because you have $1 billion mind, don't make you mean that you're brilliant. You had the mindset to do that. It does not mean you have the mindset to do everything and other things, because Jim Irsay is the worst when it comes to just common sense. And he tries to have that I'm down, I'm cool, I'm all that kind of stuff. And he says some of the dumbest stuff in the world. I'm glad he ain't on drugs no more. I'm glad he ain't getting pulled over and stopped and should have went his tail to jail for, hey, had enough drugs and money in there. If it had been me, I would be trafficking. But because it was him, it was just, oh, yeah, no big deal. But, man, I'm trying to tell you, Jonathan Taylor has not practiced, has not been activated. In fact, they got him on some crappy, unable to practice list. The man wants to be traded. He wants out of Indianapolis, and I don't blame him. I wish he could go to another team in the division so that they can have to look at what they gave up twice a year. So we'll see. But right now, man, the Indianapolis Colts are on the verge of being the worst team in the AFC South. I don't think the Texans are going to have the same problems that they had the last 2 seasons. I don't think they'll be down in the bottom of the basement. I think that's going to be the Indianapolis Colts. Bad ownership, bad leadership leads to bad results. So we'll see how that goes. I got to take another break. When I come back, I'll talk Tennessee Titans right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
Of course, Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez.
And it's caught! Deebo Samuel with the catch! Michael Jordan can sense the throw, just got the king!
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Gold Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Episode number 100 tonight with Queen 3 and King podcast. Myself, Ben Sutter III, the King, the Queens. It's going to be great. Don't miss it tonight, 7 o'clock Central on Roku TV. You can check it out on YouTube. You can check it out on Instagram. You can check it out on Facebook. But don't miss it. Whatever you do, wherever you get it, don't miss it. If you ain't at home, go to bs3network.com. That's bs3network.com. Get it there. It's going to be live. All right. All right. So got to go back to the Indianapolis Colts. I just realized they got a quarterback battle going on. They got Gardner Minshew, who was with Philly, with Jacksonville. Gardner Minshew, who, great backup, good backup. I mean, I use the word great, good backup. And then they got Anthony Richardson, who they took in the first round. I'm worried about Anthony Richardson under the leadership of Jim Irsay. Like, bruh, you about to mess up a whole lot of stuff. I can't emphasize that enough. All right, so let me go down to Tennessee real quick. We'll go down to Tennessee. They too got some things going on with the quarterback. Obviously, the starter is going to be Ryan Tannehill, but again, they've got some young quarterbacks behind him that could easily replace him. But Ryan Tannehill is the proverbial starter for the Tennessee Titans. Of course, they got Derrick Henry back, and they're set there. But what I'm hearing is that the odd man out is going to be Malik Willis. Now that they've gotten the kid out of Kentucky in there, that the odd man out is going to be Malik Willis, because most teams are not going to carry three quarterbacks. I think they should. Will Levis has not earned anything, but I think they feel like they've seen what they can out of Malik Willis, which I don't think is true. But we'll see. We'll see what they make the decision, because at some point, whoever that backup is, they are going to be the person that'll be the heir apparent to take over for Ryan Tannehill, who I don't think, if he doesn't show out this year, I think Ryan Tannehill's done in Tennessee. Again, the team to beat in the AFC South right now, in my opinion, should be at Tennessee, because with DeAndre Hopkins, and he made a hell of a catch yesterday. Very well covered, did a one-handed deal, pulled it in the back of the end zone. But the team to beat in the AFC South is Jacksonville. Because once they got Doug Peterson in, the whole thing changed. Every negative thing that I said about the Colts, I could say positively about Jacksonville because of Doug Peterson. You got an adult running things. You don't have Urban Meyer with his little childish antics and idiotic behavior. You don't have a Jim Irsay with his idiocracies. You got an adult who is teaching young men how to be better adult football players. Mature, smart, heady. And he's got a quarterback down there that's just sucking it up. He's just sucking it up. I expect Trevor Lawrence to come out and have a possible league MVP type season. I really do. Sharp young man, gets it, very mindy, heady, cerebral, my kind of guy. Probably a sapiosexual, just likes the intelligence, not just the looks. So Jacksonville, in my opinion, is going to be the team to beat in the AFC South. And notice you're not hearing anything negative coming out of their training camp. You're not hearing this Jim Irsay crap. You're not hearing him go after his players because they want to be traded or they want a better deal. You're not hearing running backs, down there, rightly so, being upset that they're not getting the money that they deserve. You're not hearing about guys gambling and getting kicked out of the league. You're not hearing about that in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is probably going to be the team to beat in the AFC South. I also think that the Texans, again, will not be in last place. Write it down. The Houston Texans will not be in last place. The Colts will. Colts or Tennessee, but it won't be the Texans. All right? Let me swing over since I got Keith Hennick on. Keith Hennick, Kyle Trask, Baker Mayfield. Kyle Trask, good season. Y'all win the NFC South. Baker Mayfield, y'all struggle against teams that are not good enough to beat y'all. Because, he'll start off great. He'll win 2 games in a row, 3. And then all of a sudden, folks will remember, that's Baker Mayfield. We can turn him over. We can make him make plays that he can't make. And they'll go on a 4-game run on the L side. So it's got to be Kyle Trask. What's happening down there, Keith? Do you know? Do you know what's going on? You know what's going on? I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm just looking to see if I got any notes on it. Let's see. Down in Tampa, we have the former number 1 overall pick taking on a former second round pick that has spent both of his 2 NFL seasons with the Buccaneers. That may give Trask a bit of an advantage when it comes to the playbook and offense. Not really, because again, they don't have Byron Leftwich as the offensive coordinator, so he does not have an advantage. He's got a first-year OC with Baker Mayfield, so that's not it. But he's taking on a quarterback who showed up to LA and led the Rams to a 98-yard game-winning drive in prime time just days before being acquired in 2020. Again, starts off strong. How's he finish? It's true that Mayfield has struggled since parting ways with Cleveland, but he's likely the better and definitely more experienced quarterback in Tampa. Trask has played in 1 NFL game. Baker has played in 72. Trask has attempted 9 career passes. Baker has attempted 2,259. I say Baker starts week 1, barring injury or something unforeseen. Levante David has already come out and said that Mayfield has been great for the Bucs locker room. That's hard to believe. Again, let me stop. Maybe he's matured. But in a division where you got DeRitter in Atlanta, where you've got Bryce Young in Carolina, and then you got Derek Carr in New Orleans, I mean, it feels like the team to beat should be Tampa, but it's not because of the quarterback spot. And I really believe that the team to beat is going to be either Carolina or Atlanta. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Atlanta being the team to be in one of the former toughest divisions in the league? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. All right. I really want to take one more break. I'm not going to do it. Let me go to another division that's going to be very interesting. And it's out in the AFC West, where there's already drama going on because Sean Payton made some comments about the former coach there, Hackett, who sucked. I mean, I don't care how much you love him or believe in him or whatever, his mama, his dad, his wife, he sucked last year. It was clearly too big of a job for him. He was not ready for head coach primetime. He was not. And unfortunately, Sean Payton made similar statements. And those statements were made to his team, but they got out to the public. And I believe, like one of my colleagues on the mothership said, that he thinks that what he was trying to say, Sean Payton was trying to say, was to motivate the guys that were there. And tell them that, Russell Wilson, you aren't as bad as you looked last year. Broncos, you guys weren't as bad as you were coached last year. But it got out, and the little drama-filled quarterback, formerly of Green Bay, now of the Jets, who I absolutely hate now. I hate that Robert Saleh has to deal with that. But, hey, you asked for it, you got it. But anyway, now he's all in his feelings. Oh, talk about my quarterback. He's a good man. He's a good husband. He's a good religious man. He gives to the poor. He's a great man. So I just think you ought to keep my coaches' names out of your mouth. The hell? Who are you? I get that you're trying to defend your dude. Do that. But keep my coaches' names out of it. It wasn't about you. Damn it, Aaron Rodgers. It's not all about you. You are not the face of the NFL. You are not the cream of the crop of the NFL. You are not the quarterback executive of the NFL. You are another dude who is obnoxious. Good God Almighty. Somebody please send Aaron Rodgers this clip. It is not about you. You will never be the greatest of all time. You are never in comparison with Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Roger Staubach. You are never in those conversations. You are a very talented, you were a very talented, one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life, but you are an ignoramus. It is not all about you. Nobody needs to not keep your coaches' names in your mouth because nobody's talking about your coaches. That man was talking about the former head coach of the team he now coaches. And again, he could have said it differently or he could have not said it, but he was talking to his team. And he's apologized. Good Lord God. Kimberly Negrete said blasphemy. Kim, I'm sorry, man. Dennis Allen is not it in New Orleans. I'm sorry. You about to see what I'm talking about. They got great talent that Dennis Allen doesn't know what the hell to do with. I like Derek Carr. You know I love Alvin Kamara. You know I love Michael Thomas. You know I love all the other players that they have down there. But let me just tell you this. Their head coach and their offensive coordinator are not it. And I think it will be more exposed this year than ever before. I really do. I think somebody other than the Saints is going to make a big move in the NFC South. I do. All right. Erica Kenyatta said she's a new Raiders fan. Let's go. Again, if Jimmy G is healthy out there, you could see a big bounce back from the Raiders. I mean, I've already got it. I put it up before. Kansas City, number 1, bar none. Chargers, number 2. Raiders are going to be in last place. Raiders are going to be in the last place. I think Denver will be in that number 3 spot. Probably, have some push for number 2. But yeah, Raiders are going to be in that last spot. I'm sorry. All right, y'all, let me go. Let me get out of here. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There's nothing you can do about it. I love everybody but Aaron Rodgers. I don't love him. I'm sorry. I tried. I don't. It ain't in my heart. Bad Mickey. Got no love for Aaron Rodgers. All right, y'all. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Winning Wednesday, right here on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. Streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, wow, already. It's Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Number 1, the American Automobile Association, or AAA, reported the national average for gasoline prices Monday was $3.76 per gallon for regular unleaded. The price of gasoline has increased by 16 cents per gallon in the last week, and some experts believe this is due to the increase in temperature. You see, refineries in the southern states, such as Texas and Louisiana, where temperatures are among the highest, are also unable to operate at full capacity due to the heat. Number 2, as soaring temperatures become the new norm, the devastating effect of extreme heat waves in the United States is felt most acutely by the nation's poorest neighborhoods. President Biden recently announced steps to combat extreme heat, including expanding the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. However, according to Michelle Graff, a researcher at Cleveland State University, only about 16% of eligible Americans benefit from the program, leaving millions without relief. Number 3, international experts question the effectiveness of arthroscopic surgery for degenerative knee problems and advise against it. Experts said that fewer than 15% of patients felt an improvement in pain and function in 3 months after the procedure, and that those effects disappeared after 1 year. The panel added the surgery is performed more than 2 million times a year across the globe, and in the United States alone, costs more than $3 billion annually. Number 4, Yayo Russell, a black woman, has filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department for 2022 incident resulting in excessive force and a wrongful arrest. During a traffic stop, police arrested all occupants of a car for not having children in car seats. An officer struck Ms. Russell in the head while removing her baby from her arms. The lawsuit alleges the deputy's behavior was not only against Russell and the other woman present, but towards black residents of the city in general. Number 5, as interest rates have climbed, home buyers have been confronted with higher borrowing costs, which has led more home purchasers to opt for purchasing mortgage points. Mortgage points lower your interest rate but cost 1% of the loan amount. Sellers may pay some or all to help buyers close. Good for struggling buyers or those who want lower monthly payments. Our celebrity CPA to the stars, Katrina M. Kraft, gives tips on how to lower the monthly payment to give you more wiggle room in your budget. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Experience can get you in the door, but your confidence, now that can light up the room. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian extraordinaire Damon Williams, contributor Cameron Riley, and producer Ahmed Gordon, along with special guest, former Alderwoman of Evanston, Illinois, Robin Ruth Simmons, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. A reminder about a celebration of black filmmakers rooted in the HBCU culture from November 10th through the 12th of 2023 at Howard University's Blackburn Center. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.